was once the symbol of the decay of Detroit, and now it's really a symbol of its resurgence. I'm so happy with how it turned out. And there's no better backdrop for kicking off our return to F1 with Red Bull. 125 years ago, my great-grandfather, Henry Ford, won a race right here in Detroit that helped launch the Ford Motor Company. And tonight we honor that legacy as we mark our return to the highest level of racing. And Ford has a storied history with Formula One. And now we're here to write the next chapter with Red Bull. For me, this is deeply personal. Our family name is on all our products around the world, so we demand excellence and we race to win. And that's why I'm so proud to have the next generation of family working at Ford now, including my son, Will, who you saw earlier, who's helping lead Ford Racing. You know, I saw our shared values in action when I visited the Red Bull Ford Powertrains facility in Milton Keynes. Together, we're going to be unstoppable. And as we re-enter F1 with one of the best racing teams in history, we're all members of the Ford family. And when Henry Ford won that race in 1901, some called it the race that changed the world. Alongside Red Bull, we intend to make history again. And to quote my uncle Henry Ford II, let's go like hell.
Since the first time the wheels spun, we've never stopped moving. From that first sound, the first smell, the first line, the first laugh, the first flight, that first fall, the second, the third, the fourth. Like a great man once said, there is no disgrace in honest failure. There is disgrace in fearing to fail. It was clear that fear of failure would never figure. Some minds just see things differently. And somewhere along the way, those minds have a habit of finding each other. Together, we're in a race of our own. We are joy and fury, precision and freedom, youth and wisdom, challenger and champion. Heroes to some, villains to others. Two icons, two teams, one ambition.
Oh, Jack. Always on the limit.
One engine.
Two iconic companies. kicking off a new era with one incredible undertaking. The scale and the ambition of this project, it's huge. Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole Briscoe, and I am so excited to welcome the two people leading the charge on this power unit. Team Principal and CEO of Oracle Red Bull Racing, Laurent Mekies, and CDO, Jim Farley. Hi, welcome, hi. Let me officially welcome you, Laurent, to Detroit. Let's just dive right into what
And America loves an underdog, right? So the regulations were key. I don't think we probably would have done this, to Laurent's point, if there wasn't a regulation change.
regulations, changes, sometimes people shy away from that, but that also can equal opportunity. Laurent, if you look at this project, the scope of it, this is obviously something that for some people could take decades to develop and build. You guys did it in a matter of years. How is that even possible?
You know, when we said earlier, it was a crazy challenge. It really was the case. Like, we didn't buy an existing power unit manufacturers. We didn't buy any existing structures. We started in a field. At the back of the Oracle Red Bull Racing campus, there was a field there. We brought the factory up, put some dyno in it, hire 600, 700 people, the best talent we could find. Look and find the best partners with Ford, with Exxon, with Oracle, with so many of the people that have been making that challenge possible, and try to build that from the ground up. That's the size of the challenge for us.
Be honest though, like how many sleepless nights has this led to? Maybe a few?
Look,
Really?
we have sleepless nights, but you know what? It's you work all your life not to have sleepless nights, but you work all your life to be.
You have kids.
Yeah, that too. To be associated with a challenge of that magnitude. That's what all of us passionate about the sport, probably most of you would like to be involved in, and that's what we have. We have an unreal challenge, and we have the privilege to be associated with it, to be involved in it. So yes, it comes with a few headaches. Yes, it comes with a few sleepless nights, but fundamentally, that's what fuels us.
The bottom line is it's a job most people would pay to get to do. But as long as we're talking about sleepless nights, the man at the heart of this project is Red Bull Ford Powertrains Technical Director, Ben Hodgkinson. He joins us now live from the Powertrains facility in the UK, where these power units are designed and built. Hi, Ben. How's it going?
Hello, Nicole. Yeah, well, thanks for beaming in. I'm here in Dyno 5 control room. Behind me, we've got engine 312, which has been doing some calibration laps. It's actually doing some laps around Barcelona to try and complement our durability running that's going on next door. I mean, there's a lot to do. Things are getting real now, which is unfortunately why I can't be there. I guess while there's still an opportunity for me to make a difference, I'll be in here making it. So we're pushing on. We've got to get race ready. I see it's now 1 hour into Friday, which means I've got 49 days until free practice 1 Australia. So
yeah,
got to keep going.
Ben, math has never been my strong suit. So like, thank you for doing that math for me, both in the number of days and also what time it is. All I know is it's like the middle of the night. When you look at the scale of everything that has already happened, what has your team done in the last 4 years?
Gosh, yeah, the scale of this project is something that's really quite special and unique. I mean, it's part of what attracted me to it in the first place, to be honest. It's the gravity of what starting from scratch actually meant has been dawning on me pretty rapidly after the first few months of starting. And it right now is the culmination of 4 years of hard graft from 700 teammates that are putting their all into it. In those 4 years, we actually had to find those 700 teammates and recruit them, trying to find the very, very best in their field. We had to build 3 factories, had to commission all the equipment, state-of-the-art facilities that we've got here in Milton Keynes. And this is an absolutely huge statement from Red Bull. I think it's the kind of project that somebody only like Red Bull would take on. the partnership with Ford absolutely supports that. They're our sort of crazy. This is one of Detroit, Massachusetts' last ambitions to have this power unit being designed and developed on campus in Milton Keynes together with the chassis. And it's an absolute honor and privilege and really a chance of a lifetime. In fact, I think it's pretty unique and not many careers are lucky enough to be able to experience something as historic as this.
Did you guys hear the benchmarks, the laundry list of benchmarks that he listed off just to get to this point? He also, Laurent, sort of brought something up. There's a special part to the name of this power unit. What is it?
Yeah, you're right. You know, this very first engine is called the M01 in tribute to Mr. Mateschitz. Ben mentioned it. You know, it's his vision. Thank you. It's his visions, his boldness. Really the Red Bull spirit that anyway is the reason why we are all here today. He made that unbelievable decision at the time to put us onto that route of being completely independent with both the chassis and the power unit. He was not scared by the...
You talked about Barcelona already. Barcelona testing's coming up in about 10 days. You also mentioned the 700 people working on this project, 700 people in 4 years. For you personally, when you look at everything that's gone on, what's the one moment that's taken your breath away?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's been so many milestones along the way. This engine we've got today is actually our 6th generation, so we keep evolving it, keep trying to make it better. But just last weekend was a particularly personal moment for me and all of my teammates, where the Red Bull engine and the Red Bull chassis got married together in a race bay. It's kind of poignant that every single second of running up until that point had been done on a dyno, and this time it was running on its own in the back of a car in a race bay. And to hear it fire up was a really emotional moment for me. It was the RB22, the Red Bull chassis, and the DM01, the Red Bull Ford Powertrains engine, coming together as a pure Red Bull thoroughbred. It was very special indeed. Yeah.
Be honest,
And
Ben, did you shed a tear or two?
I'm far too much of an engineer to have that kind of emotion, but it was definitely.
That's just self-awareness. I need you to be aware of the time now. It is literally the middle of the night. I need to mom you. Thank you for joining us, but can you go to bed now, please? Go on, go to bed.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ben Hodgkinson, everyone. It's really not long before we get to see and hear the car on the track. Barcelona testing is coming up in about a week and a half. For both of you guys, Laurent, we'll start with you. Success in year one. What does that actually look like?
You know, after everything we say, you know, in describing the size of that challenge of starting from scratch and building everything up, I think going into the first year, you know, and going to the first race soon and thinking to be straight away at the level of the competitions who have been doing it for perhaps 90 years for some of them, I think it would be naive. We are not naive. We know it's going to be coming with a fair amount of struggle, a fair amount of headaches and sleepless nights, as we said. But that's exactly what we are here for. And you know, we have the confidence of having put together an amazing group of people, an amazing group of partners, and we will go through the struggle. We'll eventually come out on top. Bear with us in the first few months, and I think these initial difficulties will be a good reminders of how much we went through to eventually get on top.
I think for us at Ford is the test to be clear enough that Ford knows exactly what we need to do to support the Red Bull team. That's the most important thing, that we know exactly how we could help and make our first race a success and the first part of the season a success. That's what we're looking for, is the clarity of our work.
Who's excited to watch it happen? Gentlemen, thank you for essentially explaining the why.
It sounds like you've got your hands full with that. But Christian, I want to bring you in at this point, because this is an area of the car where Ford have been working really hard and providing some of the key manufacturing processes to make this assembly possible. So tell me a little bit about what you've been working on, Christian.
Yeah, so Ford is obviously a car company. That's why we're all here tonight. But we're more a manufacturing company. For 125 years, we've been developing the tools, the processes, the procedures to be able to produce the cars out in the parking lot, but also the race cars in here. And for the Red Bull Ford powertrain, as well as our GT3 Mustang, our Raptor T1 Plus, we focus on a technology called direct metal laser sintering, or DMLS.
Well, DLMS, just briefly, let me just ask, is that like 3D printing, but for metallic parts?
It's exactly that. So by 3D printing, we're able to create unique geometries that we couldn't through other processes like castings or forgings. But more importantly, it allows us to iterate really quickly to make sure we're putting the highest performing components into the engine and out onto the track.
Now, one of the things that I love about this animation that we have here is that as we see the turbine housing sort of grow, what we can also see is these other structures that are sort of around it and inside it. Tell me about those structures and how do you get rid of them at the end of the process?
Yeah, that's a good question. So DMLS basically entails building a part up layer by layer. And each of these layers is really thin. Think of the thickness of a human hair. So a part the size of a turbine, it's thousands and thousands of layers. So we need to give it structure and support as it builds. These structures aren't things that we necessarily want. So when the part is done printing, we take it out of the machine and we hand it over to people who I deem artists, who then meticulously pick away the supports, polish the surfaces, and we hand them over to Red Bull and then put out on the racetrack.
Well, these artists of yours must have some tiny hands because I certainly couldn't get my shovels in there. Right, now, the next thing that I want to talk about, and actually, just before we move on, I want to ask you, Phil, tell you what, Phil, if you happen to have one of those kicking around in the factory, send it my way. Ladies and gentlemen, the DM01. We are about done here, so I am going to take this off and join you all in the room. Oh, it's wonderful to see all of your faces, although I do accept that that feeling might not be mutual. Gentlemen, I want to thank you both for joining us up here today.
All right, are you guys ready? Should we just pull off the tarp right now? Should we see the cars? Oh, you thought I was going to do that right now? No. We are gearing up for the first livery reveal of the evening, and we all know this. They can change from time to time. But one thing never changes. Oracle Red Bull Racing always does Formula One like no other.
The first wins are supposed to be different, but the truth is, it never gets old, and nor do we. We are part of a legacy and a piece of the future, fighting for a chance to grab the horns and orbit the sun. Speed is an eternal chase. Sometimes you find it when you least expect it, the return of a familiar friend. Then it disappears in a moment, seemingly never to be found again. Until the next time.
Verstappen roars around the outside to take the lead from the pit lane to the podium. Verstappen is on Norris immediately. You cannot count him out. He came roaring back.
We're raised to race fast, race hard, and go again. To expect to not always be liked for it. But the people we reach, the experiences we share, create a fandom like no other.
That was unbelievable, guys.
This sport is a story told in thousandths of a second, made by 1,000 hands. Together, we push to the limits and beyond. Every chapter carries the same fire as the last.
Well, they put a 10 out after that one. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Oh, really? It's got it done. You got built a rocket ship on the car.
Red Bull is more than a racing team. It's a culture, a tribe, a family. As a new dawn breaks, the new Oracle Red Bull Racing steps forward, and then we go again.
You know what that is? Simply lovely. I tell you that.
We are back.
So many things that are, for a lot of people, okay, my God, what I have to do, scratching their mind in the night. So stay tuned and a lot of fun, because that's what is our sport. We have great people, great engineering, and I take the opportunities let's say on behalf of all the F1 family, to thank Ford. We are here in this magnificent place. We are in the heart of motorsport, in the motherland. And really thanks to you all that I would love to see you not only here, but all around the world to follow Formula One. That is a promise that I hope that we can share as a moment of joy, because that is really Formula One of today.
All right, I need like a show of hands or make some noise. Who's gonna be watching FP1 in Australia? Obviously. So with this new era of regulations, when we are, you know, at home watching, how will these new regulations play out in what we see on the track?
Well, of course, the new regulation, as we said, is new.
And counting down the days to that first race in Australia. Let's now bring together essentially the two people who have married power unit and the car. It's Oracle Red Bull Racing Technical Director, Pierre Vache, and Philip Prue, who we just saw during the power unit demonstration from Red Bull Ford Powertrains. No, we can do on the line. We can stand. See? Everyone's wearing the new kit now. For those of you who don't know, Pierre, we can line up. Let's just all line up like good little kids in school. Pierre, you know, you were the man who was in charge of designing the RB2022, RB22. I'll get that right. It's a big year. We've talked about this. It's a big year for the power unit. It's a massive year for aerodynamics. How did your team approach all of the changes?
How it was mentioned before, you know, it's one of the biggest change of regulation in the history of Formula One. Tire change, the car weight reduced massively, aerodynamic rules change. Then what you try to do on top of the PU is to give as much as possible on design, the freedom for aero to find the best performance of the car, try to anticipate the balance limitation with this tire and with this aerodynamic regulation, and position the design to achieve as much as possible more freedom and capacity to develop the car.
RB22 is obviously, there are the new regulations, but it also presents new opportunities. How did you embrace that?
I think the main opportunity we have in the new regulation, as we saw in the last one, is to give the capacity of the team to develop the car. You know, the capacity in terms of manufacturing, engineering, as much as possible, because the car you will see in Barcelona or a race one will be completely different in Abu Dhabi end of the year. And it will be a fight to the end in terms of development based on how the issue of the car will be, but also on the performance we find in our tool and wind tunnel.
You know, it is a marriage between the two sides. How do you two work together? How do your teams work together? Right, that happens sometimes too. How do your teams work together to effectively collaborate?
Well, the work together started right from the very concept. So starting the power unit from a blank sheet of paper, the very architecture of the power unit was able to be aligned with the concepts and the direction that we wanted to take with the chassis, as Pierre mentioned, to give maximum freedom for the aerodynamics. So that work started right from the very concept. And as we built the power unit, put more complexity on, constantly working with our colleagues in the chassis side to understand the trades that we're making. I think that work will continue as we take the engine to the circuit, understanding how we interface with the aerodynamics, how we interface with the drivers. So the journey has started, but I think it very much continues as we go forward, and the opportunity to work sort of hand in hand, I think gives great opportunity to develop the car all the way through the season, as Pierre says.
It's essentially a 4-year journey that's gotten you to this point. I love the idea that for you, this is a first, because for the first time, you are designing the chassis and the power unit under the same roof. What's the significance of that?
You know, it's very big for us. You know, the one team concept is the first time that we are going to go into the championships with doing everything under one roof. There is only one other team doing it in Formula One, who will be the next one. And, you know, to have Pierre on stage, Philippe on stage, representing all the chassis side of the company, all the power unit of the company tonight, it's a symbol of our season. It's, you know, the only reason why you do your own power unit is to make sure that you have the maximum integrations between Pierre's team and Philippe's team tonight and Ben's team. And That's what we are after. And the way our two teams are going to work as one is going to be the difference between success and failure for the whole project. And that's the spirit in which we go in it. We go in it with the Red Bull spirit, with our people at the center of the project. And Philippe and Pierre represent that today.
I cannot wait. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Stefano, thank you for being here. Yes.
Enjoy
Pierre,
and follow us.
Phil, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Guys, give it up for them. No, don't you dare. He's trouble. So we've heard now what we can expect from this season. I think it's finally time to introduce our new driver lineup. Sound good? Please welcome to the stage the Oracle Red Bull Racing drivers, Isaac Hajar and the four-time world champion, Max Verstappen. Hi, how are you? Come on in, come on. I get to stand next to the new guy. Isaac, what does it mean for you to be here now experiencing all of this?
Yeah, it's a bit unreal for me, you know. I've always dreamed of driving for this team. As a kid watching TV, I saw Vettel winning all those titles, and now I'm finally in the big team. So yeah, it's a real privilege to be part of Red Bull Racing and to be next to Max.
And Max, now, like, you not only are you the dad, but you're also the old man on the team. For you to be around that long, to see all the changes, how have you seen the changes? How have you felt the changes in this new era?
I think, first of all, you know, everyone is very excited, and I am as well. And as you can see, yeah, the colors have changed a little bit.
Do you want to do a spin too and show us the new
You want to
kit?
see my ass?
You can just, you know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Before we get into more details, which I think is why we all want to be here, is to see what's under this, right? Let's reveal the 2026 livery. And it wouldn't be an Oracle Red Bull Racing reveal if it wasn't with a little bit of a Red Bull twist. Dax, we'll get it back to you.
That's gorgeous. Look, I'm here with our F1 Academy drivers, Alicia and Raphael. Guys, welcome to Detroit. F1 is back bigger than ever. Alicia, you finished 5th last year. How are you feeling about this season?
Well, firstly, I just want to say the biggest thank you to Laurent and everybody at Red Bull for putting their belief and trust into me for another season. And the best way that I can repay them for that is by bringing the championship home, which I have full confidence that we can do. I'm under no illusion the scale of the challenge ahead and the task that's ahead. I know it will be a challenge, but I learned so much last year. So the plan is to put it into practice this year and bring home the championship.
Rafa, it's your 2nd season as well. Where do you see the biggest opportunities for you in 2026?
Yeah, my 2nd season. I think 2026 is a really good opportunity to use everything I learned so far. So one of my main goals this year is fight for my first podium and my first win in F1 Academy. I'm feeling more comfortable with the car, with the tracks, with the team. So I'm really happy to represent the team one more year.
And quite a team it is with Max and Isaac up there. What's it feel like to be in the Red Bull family?
Oh, it's a dream come true. I still pinch myself now to this day, to be honest. It's an awesome team full of awesome people. The support network that they provide to myself and Rafa in F1 Academy, they are so committed to supporting us and to supporting F1 Academy as a series. So they're just so incredible, and they put more commitment into F1 Academy than any other F1 team on the grid. So yeah, it's a privilege.
Welcome to 2026.
Hold up. This isn't us. We do things differently here. These are cash-up racing balls. By now, you know what it stands for. But do you know what it really means? We've gone through a few looks over the years, but let's make one thing clear. Some things never change. The iconic races, the fresh faces. But don't worry, no history lessons here. All you need to know is this team is all about new. New lineups to rewrite the script. New voices to break through the noise. New ways to shake up the grid. This is not your average race team. We won't keep quiet. And we won't sit still. We won't stay serious until it really matters.
Lawson, best ever Formula One result.
Whatever makes us listen, whatever makes us move, whatever makes us, well, look good. We want to be a part of it. Because we create champions, and we champion creativity. So this year, we will continue to be what we always have been, the home for a new generation of talent. It doesn't matter where you are, because our home is wherever it's loudest. Welcome to 2026.
So, how do you both feel about being part of this movement in F1 culture? Everything the team does on socials allows us to see your personalities. How important is it for fans to see who you are beyond a racetrack?
It's important for sure. Obviously, the sport's growing and it's been changing a lot in the last few years, especially. So, something our team has embraced a lot more as well on the social side. So, something that's you're going to get used to this year, which should be fun. But yeah, lots of social concepts. But obviously, we do it in a way that's structured and makes it enjoyable for us. And obviously, we have a good-looking car, which makes it good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the lip syncs are exciting. So yeah, it's no, it's like you say. I mean, obviously to show the personality and stuff is really important. And no, it's cool to be doing something a bit different on that side.
Well, I mean, speaking of, we know how much you love admin. Don't worry, this isn't actually going to be a lip sync request, but we did ask your fans on social to submit some questions for you both tonight. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay. First one is, what is your favorite pre-race song?
It depends for me and where I am. Like if I'm racing in America, I listen to a lot of country music, but on average, it's mostly rap. So number one would be probably J. Cole, No Role Models.
Okay, and Arvid?
Yeah, I really like Eminem. Obviously here in Detroit, it's yeah. I mean, I watched the 8 Mile film for the first time last week, so yeah, it's cool to be here. And I don't know, favorite song, probably like No Love. I think that's sort of my yeah, go-to hype song.
Amazing. That's I love a Detroit-based legend. The next question's for you, Liam. Will you ever drop a country album, or at least think about it?
I would like to. Maybe eventually. It's something that's. I bring guitars with me now everywhere at all the races. But to drop an album, you got to put a lot of time into that. I'm not at that level yet. So one day though.
One day, I mean, the last time I saw you was in Austin at COTA. You were in the cowboy boots, the cowboy hat. You had a whole cowboy alter ego.
I mean, I really embraced that weekend. It's probably my favorite weekend of the year. It's an amazing race. And I think Austin has a big music culture as well. So it's something that I really enjoy.
I love that. Okay, Arvid, the fans would love to know, who did you call when you found out you were going to become an F1 driver?
I was with my dad at the time, so he was the first person I told. Yeah, it was a special moment. Obviously, he was sort of the thing that we did together. You know, on the weekends or after school, we'd go to the track. So to share that moment with him was very special.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, final question. Your socials are really great. They never fail to make us laugh each week. The lip syncs, the walking questions, 10 out of 10. Are you excited for more in 2026?
Who asked that question?
It might have been the admin team.
We love admin. We make fun of them a lot, and we get like a time each weekend that we have to do.
Yes, this has been an unbelievable event from start to finish. So thanks all of you for being here in person or watching online around the world. 2026 promises to be an amazing year for motorsports, and I can't wait to hear the engines roar. Thanks, everybody, and good night.